So what I taught myself around writing is to train myself to try to write at a specific time every day, which for me was typically in the morning, and to always know what you're going to sit down and write before you do it. So knowing your topics, you've got your time of day, you've got your topic, so that you're not sitting down thinking, what am I going to write about? Right? Mm-hmm. You're sitting down to actually write. And then the target is to have a target, whether you're going to write for 30 minutes or you're going to write 500 or 1,000 words, but just to have that kind of quantifiable goal. So when you hit it, you know you're done. And if you're on a roll, keep going. But just to give you that target to keep working towards. So for writing, that's kind of the tip. But for day to day, for me, it's all about time blocking. I have a baby. He's only 5 months. He's not even quite 5 months old. So I really have to time block and schedule because my life is hardly my own right now.
Oh, sure, I bet. What would you say is the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice I've ever received, it's hard because I've been very fortunate to network and connect with a lot of great people. But I think one of the pieces that really helped me, and it goes back to what we were talking about in sales and all of those things, was I was nervous. When I started doing a lot of talks and speaking, whether it was in front of 10 or 500 people, I would get really, really nervous. And to the point where, one of my big talks, one of my very first big talks I did, was in front of 400 people. And it was my first time ever wearing a mic. Mm-hmm. And I actually basically blacked out. I don't remember. I remember starting off telling a story and looking out at the audience at a part where it was supposed to be funny. And all I saw was this sea of straight faces, except for down in the very front row to the left was my husband and a friend, colleague of mine named Tahani, and they were laughing, but nobody else was laughing. And that's my memory of this talk. I don't remember anything else. I left the stage, went off the stage, and then I started to remember, but I really have no recollection of this. And so I ran into somebody else who was a speaker at that event, at another event shortly after. And he, complimented me on that. And I said, I was so nervous. I honestly don't remember how it went or what it felt like or anything. And he gave me some great advice. He said, I still get nervous. And this is a guy who speaks in front of thousands and thousands of people all the time. Mm-hmm. He said, I still get nervous, but he said, what I do is I don't worry about what people are going to think of me. Cause he said, that's when I get the most nervous, is I'm worried about pleasing everyone in the room. He said, so I try not to think about everyone. I think about that one person who needs to hear my message that day, and I focus on that person. So I'm not worried about me. I'm not worried about my message. I'm worried about making sure that I connect with that person and I say what needs to be said to really help that one person that day. And it just took the pressure off, and it helped me realize that I'd been so worried about what people would think of me that I had forgotten that I was there to help them. And it just kind of changed everything for me. So I think that is probably the best advice, or it's certainly right up there.
Sure. Well, it's definitely great wisdom. So thank you for that one. So again, thank you for taking the time to chat with me. I really appreciate it. What is the best way for people to get a hold of you and to see more about what you're working on?
Yeah, well, as you noted, if you Google my name, you can find me everywhere. But the best way to get in touch with me is to go to our website, booklaunchers.com. So booklaunchers.com. You can connect with me on social media. And if you are interested in writing and publishing a book, there's lots of tips, and you can download a book, like a free ebook on how to sell your book. It's basically 8 ways to sell 1,000 copies of your book for under $100. That ebook is available on our website as well. So lots of ways to connect with me, and I'd love to hear from you if you're interested in writing a book. I'm happy to chat with you about it.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. I'm going to add those links in the show notes so people can just click on through and get a hold of you that way.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you, Julie, for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It was fun to be on your show.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Advance Your Art podcast. If you like this episode, please go into iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button so that every single time I release a new episode, it will go directly to you without even thinking about it. If you're interested in hearing older episodes, please go to advanceyourart.com where you can find the catalog of everything I've done so far, as well as contact information and projects I'm working on. Thank you again, and have a great day.